Hello and welcome from Multan Cricket Stadium. We're here for the third day of this test match between Pakistan and England. We're here for the Bank Al Falah series, Kingdom Valley. It was a three-match test series which will be played firstly in Multan, the second one in Multan, and the third one will be finishing off in Pindi. Well, just a quick reminder of what happened yesterday. Pakistan made 556 courtesy contributions from Shan Masood, skipper, leading from the front. Salman Ali Agha, his knock was crucial. Contributions in the middle order. Abdullah Shafiq as well, scoring that all-important 100. He needed runs at the top. And you had, in response, England were 96 for 1 at the close of play. Crawley was still out there. Ben Duckett didn't come out to bat because of that injury, but we've heard that he's fine now, so we'll be seeing him at some point. Joe Root was also with Crawley there. So England, of course, will be looking to pile those runs today. Well, beautiful day here once again in Multan Cricket Stadium, and it's an important day, day 3 of this test match. England, of course, will be looking to get as close as possible to Pakistan, whereas Pakistan will be looking for early wickets. I've been joined by Nasir Hussain and Amir Suhail on pitch side. Nas, great to have you back in Pakistan. Great to have you on pitch side. 2 tough days for England, but they did really well considering there wasn't much in the wicket, no real conventional swing or reverse swing at offer.
Yeah, no swing, no reverse swing, no spin really. The pitch has been pretty flat for 2 days. It's been seriously hot as well. So I thought England, as a captain and a management, you judge your team on their body language, on their speeds, on their energy. And I think they kept that going pretty much all the way through. Either side of tea yesterday, maybe finally the weather and the pitch got to them. There was the missed stumping from Jamie Smith and a drop catch from Atkinson as well as at mid-wicket. But then they went out to bat and sort of recovered from the injury to Duckett. You know, a new opening batsman got out in Ollie Pope. But after that, the world-class player that Joe Root is, and Zach Crawley likes these conditions and likes Pakistan. So it is set up nicely, but fair play to Pakistan. With a side that was under pressure, a batting lineup that was under pressure, whatever you say about the pitch, you've still got to go out and bat well. And they did exactly that, Pakistan.
Well, the batters have done their job. They scored 556 runs on this, wicket contributions from the skipper, and then that all-important innings by Salman Ali Agha in the middle. I mean, his knock was special. We know what he can do with the ball as well. So he's turning out to be a pretty useful all-rounder for Pakistan.
Because of his efforts, he has become integral part of Pakistani lineup. He's a utility cricketer, like you said. And what I like about him, he doesn't wither away from the challenges. He comes out and takes the game to the opposition. And not the first time he has done that. I've seen him doing it so often. And then he can rotate his arm and bowl for Pakistan. And he's got a knack of picking up important wickets. So he has become a complete package.
Absolutely, and we'll see him, like you said, later on, how handy he is with the ball in these conditions, considering if the cracks open up and aid the spinners as well. From an England point of view, it was important to start off well, just in terms of response. Salman Ali Agha, just once again, quick look at his figures, made that important 100. But yeah, so for England, it was important to start off really well. Lost the early wicket of the captain, but then Zach Crawley scoring at run a ball, the pace at which he scores as well. I mean, that's one thing that we'll see, hopefully, throughout the test match of this England batting lineup.
Yeah, definitely, and that tone is set by Zach Crawley. That's why he's been brought in the side and continues to play in the side. Last time here, first test match in Pindi, got an 86 ball 100 on day 1. He is dangerous when there's no sideways movement. He only averages 31, 32 in both test match cricket and first class cricket, where in England the ball moves around and he looks at times a bit vulnerable. When it's gun barrel straight, as it has been here, he is very dangerous because he hits through the line, he's tall, and he hits it at the top of the bounce. And then bowlers drag their length back a little bit and he pulls them away. His battle with Abrar Ahmed's fascinating already. Abrar got him out 3 times in the last series. He wasn't picking him. And the moment Abrar came on yesterday, Zach Crawley went down the pitch and hit him a few times, a little bit like Shan Masood did to the England spinners. So that battle is going to be key as the series progresses and this test match progresses.
All right, and then we've talking about Zach Crawley, how prolific he's been, especially in Pakistan when he came last year as well, and the fact that he's managed to show that kind of intent, that was important for England. So crucial knock. He's still out there and he's hoping to pile some more runs for England, but Just on Pakistan, it was important for them to get an early wicket, which is what they did. Naseem Shah got that wicket, and what a stunning catch that was to get rid of Ollie Pope.
Yeah, it was stunning catch, and when you talk about fielders, slip fielders are actually anticipating everything coming towards them. But at mid-wicket, he was alert, he was anticipating it, and in the end, he took it very easily.
Yeah, it's never easy when you're taking these one-handed catches, Nas. I mean, I'm sure you've had a few while you were playing. It's never easy to be in that position. But that was a stunning catch by Amir Jamal.
It sure was. I think Amir makes a good point. You've just gone out there in the field. You're thinking, if anything, there's going to be an outside edge, so the slip cordon's in play. At mid-wicket, you could be a little bit sort of doping and thinking about your own game and how did I get out and how am I going to bowl on this surface. He was absolutely switched on from ball one in the first over. It was a stunning catch, and I like the reaction of the players, the skipper, the bowler. Barber ran at him. It's just a shame there wasn't more in to enjoy such a special moment. Catches like that are just phenomenal and lift aside, especially on this pitch. You can't afford, it's going to be hard enough to get 20 wickets. You can't afford to be trying to get 22, 24, 25 wickets.
Well, that's the real question then, Amir, in these conditions. I mean, how do you get wickets? Because that's what Pakistan needs to do if they are to put themselves in a position to win this match.
Well, the important thing is discipline. What we saw from English bowlers, especially after first spell, they realized that, there is no point bleeding to death. You have to be intelligent enough to bowl on such surfaces. And they maintain good lines and lengths. Yes, they were not able to pick up so many wickets, but that discipline in the end worked for them. Post tea session, they picked up 3 wickets and came back into the game. And I think what Pakistani team needs is discipline. Instead of bowling wicket to wicket on a pitch like this, that offer more opportunities for the batters to score runs. They have to find the right length just outside the off stump. And I would encourage Naseem Shah to bowl round the stumps. And for Ibrar, he has to bowl outside the off stump to be able to get that googly take effect, because he's not a big turner of the ball and there is no point bowling within the stumps. This is the thing which has to be told to him in order to meet some success on a surface like this.
Well, it's time for a short breather. When we do come back, we'll be having a closer look at the pitch. Amir Suhail talking about how Abrar needs to come into the mix of things. We'll find out later after this break if there is something in there for the pitch for Abrar. Back on pitch side, and day 3 is normally considered the moving day of this test match, but we'll have to wait and find out if things are actually going to be moving. Let's find out from Bazid Khan what he thinks about how this pitch is going to fare today. It's time for the pitch report.
Third day of the test match, and normally that's the moving day. Now, with the surfaces, hasn't moved much in terms of development through the patches or any deterioration. Yesterday we saw pretty much the same as the first day. Today I've scanned the whole 22 yards and I've just found maybe a couple of spots. This one is the footmarks created by the faster bowlers. This is too close. This one has developed very slightly. The only thing I can say though is the cracks are now visible slightly more. These cracks have opened up. They've opened up a little, so when you look at the surface, you can spot a few widening of the cracks. That maybe suggests that on this third day, there might be a bit more in it for the spinners, bit more turn. Although it still looks very flat, although it looks a pitch that you'd want to bat on, maybe that element of slow turn comes into play. Talking to the ground staff, they were hopeful that today will be the day that the game shifts on and it develops the pitch where it turns, and maybe when you hit the crack, you get up and down bounce. But as a batter, as a player, you look at the surface and you think, well, I want to bat on this.
Yeah, still largely a batting wicket, Amir. A few cracks have opened up, as we've seen. I mean, do you think the spinners can have a role today? We've got Abrar and Salman Ali Agha. Both can bowl a bit of spin.
Yes, Salman Ali Agha can spin the ball. What we saw after tea, there was a little bit of turn for the left armer. and then the off spinner Bashir started to get some response from the surface. Remember the dismissal of South Shakil? It didn't turn a lot, but there was a hint of spin there. So this pitch will offer something to the spinners, but you have to find the right liner length and the pace.
I mean, from an England perspective, it's very clear that their intent against spin is pretty much going after the spinners. We saw that yesterday against Abrar Ahmed as well. Expecting more of the same today?
Yeah, with this England lineup, I mean, you've got a world-class player of spinning in Joe Root. He won't go ballistic. He just plays with rhythm and flair and timing. He's, 39 runs short. There's a record on offer here today to go past Sir Alistair Cook and become England's greatest ever run getter, so there'll be an eye on that. It's a good pitch. I think Pakistan need to drag their lengths back a little bit. Obviously, Shaheen Shah tries to go full early on, but there's not much swing. Try and get it reversing, but try and hit those cracks, bowl back of a length. I think it will get lower. Try and just nip it back onto that front pad of Joe Root or Zach Crawley. And England have gone under Bazball era twice. They've gone for 500 in the field. Both those times they've won in Rawalpindi and against New Zealand at Trent Bridge. So listen, they're still in the game. England have got to get up towards 500. Then that third innings becomes a little bit complicated. What do Pakistan do? I'd rather be in Pakistan's side with runs on the board, but England will try and get as close as possible to them.
All right, Pakistan still very much in the driver's seat, but it's going to be an interesting day's play today. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at other things in more detail, so please don't go anywhere. Back on pitch side, and there was a bit of an injury scare for England yesterday. Ben Duckett getting hit on the thumb while he was fielding. But the good news that we're hearing from the camp is that he's fine and he will be coming out to bat at some point. I mean, that must have hurt, Nas, when you're getting hit on the thumb. But like I said, at least he will be coming out to bat at some point today.
Yeah, and he's also someone, although in his test match career he's batted a lot at the top of the order. When he started in domestic cricket, he batted a lot in the middle order, and he's a very good player of spin with the sweeps and reverse sweeps. So some people you worry, openers, as Amir will tell you, openers are very much a specialist position. They don't like being moved, but I don't think it will alter him too much to go into the middle order. He may come in next, he may come in after someone like Harry Brook. But it's just a very good sign for England, not just this game, because they've not got a spare opener in the squad, so it was absolutely vital. It wasn't broken. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, this England lineup bats extremely deep. You've got Chris Wokes coming in at that number as well, who can bat as well. Crawley at the top. And then Root is batting out there as well. So it's not going to be easy when you talk about for Pakistan. Obviously, they have to run through quite a few players to be actually getting, sort of a chance at in this test match. But Ahmed, just about Pakistan not last year, when the last time England toured, we remember the Harry Brook was somebody, Pakistan was really at the receiving end from him. And he scored heaps of runs, about 500 runs. So he's going to be an integral member of that lineup. Yeah,
that was a phenomenal series for him, and that was a series which made him recognized all over the world. His talent was recognized, and he was prolific, and he batted fearlessly. He backed his talent, and whenever we saw him batting for England, it was free-flowing innings, and nothing halted him actually. So he has developed some, or should I say, found some issues in his batting. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to address those issues, score some runs and gain some confidence.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. He picks up length beautifully, so he plays that pull shot as we saw there very well. Pakistan the seamers might want to bowl wide to him.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts, gentlemen. That's all that we have for you from pitchside. We'll be taking a short break. We'll be back just in a bit with all the live action. Don't go anywhere.